RDMS.
Oh, so Reynoso, that's a sick name, man.
Bro, I appreciate that.
Went from watching in the stands and watching guys like you and the guys that were like from a generation before me.
Whenever I do fight again, I need Christian Reynoso there on commentary. Otherwise, I'm not doing it.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of Reynoso. Christian here, and today we are taking a deep dive with someone who's making some serious noise in the lightweight division. From going viral and being featured on ESPN to compiling an undefeated 5-0 record to now just being days away from returning to action at LFA 223. Please welcome another Gilbert Grappling soldier in Scuba, Steve Collins. Scuba Steve, what's good, my boy?
Nothing much, man. Just got home from practice. About to eat some dinner in a minute and chill out.
My man, I appreciate you making some time. I'm doing great, bro. This is real pleasure, bro. Like I said before we went live, I'm happy we finally got to do this. Probably a little overdue. You're a busy guy. I touched on it a little bit there. You're all systems go, bro. You got a big fight coming up. LFA 223, November 21st. Let's talk about it, bro.
I'm very excited for this fight, man. I feel like I've been training all summer for this fight because I had a fight with this guy named Max Mesker. He's hopped on the scale 2 pounds over and didn't want to cut the weight, drunk some water, and then act like he made weight. But then I had another fight for what was that? It was October 25th, and then the guy he got injured in practice. They needed to have surgery on his shoulder, so I was like, oh damn. So they were trying to find me somebody else, and they ended up finding me somebody for November 21st. So I just tripled up my camp and kept it going.
Yeah, you tripled up on your camp, bro, and obviously you're a pro at keeping things going, man. Because one of the reasons I've been a Scuba Steve fan for so long is I had the pleasure of commentating you way back in the day. I think it was your second and third amateur fights. I got to commentate them both. And when I was going through your record since, bro, like I know you've been on a tear, but pretty crazy stat. I think you fought between roughly every 3 to 4, sometimes 5 months. But from the time I commentated your last fight for over 2 years, you fought almost every 3 to 4 months until you turned pro. And then it was when you hit that second pro fight that you started to kind of deal with these issues with fighters pulling out, fights falling through. But from the time you got started, bro, it seemed like you had your foot on the gas. Was that always the plan?
Nah, it wasn't until I got the fight with Rampage Jackson's son, Roger Jackson. Once I got that fight and I won that fight, I was just like, bro, I don't care. Like I'm fighting any and everybody. I'm going to the UFC. Like it's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And then it's like me being in the gym every day, working hard. It just proved myself right every time and just keep winning and winning. So it's like, why stop?
Yeah.
Well, why stop? I'm not taking no damage. I'm young. I don't have no injuries. Why stop?
Bro, that Rajah Jackson fight, that aged weird, huh?
That aged crazy, didn't it?
That shit aged crazy, dude.
I thought that guy would have been on like a 4-1 fighting streak by now, man.
Yeah, man. You know, the thing is like at the end of the day, like, and that without even going into any of that those shenanigans, because this is your podcast, but like, you know, bro, at the end of the day, dog, he did pick up that L to you. And I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say it's all your fault that shit went the way it did, but I'm just saying, dog. I mean, Scuba Steve, bro, you fucking may have derailed the hype train there, homie. I don't know, man. So you got, so bro, like you have that fight, right? You have that fight that was for UFL, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so you go from UFL to CFFC,
and that guy, he was 3-0, and I was 1-0, and his dad was like a CFFC veteran.
So, bro, so you take out another prospect, all right? And then after that, it's LFA. Now, what strikes me about this, and I remember this striking me at the time, because like I said, I always kind of watched you peripherally, bro, is like, you didn't just turn pro, you turned pro and you immediately went to the elite. I mean, for lack of better words, like this, the shows that are considered the feeders to the UFC, whether maybe UFL for sure as well, but CFFC, no doubt, and LFA is essentially the #1 feeder to the UFC. So how did that happen? Usually most fighters have to like, you know, they're 10 fights under their belt before they can get noticed by a promotion like the LFA. But, you know, for you, that wasn't necessarily the case. You mind going into that a little bit?
Yeah, I can. So I also think that I'm with a very great team and very great coaches, and I fought for promotions that, you know, talk about me highly. I'm guessing the matchmakers talk about me highly and got me into these positions. And then at the end of the day, you know, I have to go out there and perform. I feel like me performing in the ring showed people like, oh, this guy is the real deal. And it's just that simple to me. Like I'm the real deal, bro. Like I'm going to the UFC. I'm gonna remain undefeated, and that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I work too hard. I got stuff in play. I got a plan, and it's working. And I'm gonna keep on pushing. I'm gonna keep on training. I'm keep on helping guys in the gym get better too. So
Like that attitude has been constant, dude. Because you and I haven't necessarily stayed in touch, but you know, we crossed paths at most of the shows. But one thing that struck me and stayed with me, that fight, the first fight I called of yours was in February of 2022, and I remember it. I remember very clearly because on that card there were some big names on the card, and one of those names was one of the Pettis boys was coming down from Rufus, and he was coming down to be on the card, and he was coming with one of his teammates, and they kind of came with a certain kind of swagger, right? Like they were like, there's all this hype around this kid making his debut, and his partner came with him, and that was your opponent. That was Isaiah Flores. And I remember very, very clearly when you guys faced off. You know, it was different from all the other face-offs. And even though, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that was your second amateur fight.
yeah,
That was your second amateur fight. Like there was a different sort of intensity, there's a different sort of swagger to you, bro. And you've been able to kind of maintain that your whole way through, staying the course. I don't want no point in going into your amateur career too much, but as it progressed, you were certainly getting momentum. The swagger remained. You had some bumps along the way. I think you just lost decisions as amateur. Yeah, you lost 2 decisions. You kind of were able to write that course. And when you were wrapping up your amateur career, you had that fight at APFC. So before jumping into I'll call it the deep end. That's not like a scuba joke, right? Like you're jumping into the deep end with like these CFFCs, LFAs. Did you feel that like you were already kind of bumping up to that level as you wrapped up your amateur career? Because not only did you have that APFC fight, which is the biggest show in the Midwest, but you had that viral moment where you're on top of old boy, and you got a little, your show born a little bit, and that moment ends up on ESPN. Did you feel like, I know you said the first pro fight was a big deal, but did you feel something happening at the time?
yes, I did. I'm glad you mentioned that face off, because that face off was like, that was the one of the only dangerous guys that I actually went against, like fighting. Like Isaiah Flores is a very great fighter. He's very young. He's just young. That's all it is. He's just young. But back to what you said. What was the question again? Well, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Like, so basically I said, obviously once you went to the CFFC and LFA, that was the deep end, but did you feel that happening before the pro move? Like as you wrapped up your amateur career, you had the big moment at APFC, all this momentum. It just felt like Scuba Steve Collins was going to be something to watch. Did you feel it happening?
Yes, I felt it. Right after that fight, I felt it, because before that fight, I think I lost. I'm pretty sure I lost before that fight. And then I fought there, and I just demolished the kid. I'm just like, bro, like I'm built for this. And from that point on, I told myself, bro, I'm gonna train hard and I'm gonna go pro. And I had an amateur fight lined up with this guy named Cameron Scalio, but that fell out, and I just went pro. Like my coach, we got offered Roger Jackson off that fallout. So off that fallout, the matchmaker was talking to the UFL matchmakers like, look, we got this guy. He already ready. He's been training. He just got to keep his camp going. So they thought that I was on short notice against Roger Jackson, but I wasn't.
Man, but the irony behind that is like even somebody like myself that barely graduated high school could look at your record and, like I said, catch on very quickly that this guy fights every 2 to 3 months. Somebody like that doesn't have to get ready because he stays ready. But hey,
there we go.
You know, here's what it is. So those fights happen when you start to settle in at LFA. Did you decide, or is there or has there been a decision to settle in at LFA? Because I know your last few fights have been there. If I'm not mistaken, you're 3-0 in the LFA right now.
Yes.
I touched on that being like the feeder to the UFC. When you got there, were you like, you know what, I'm a pony up and just saddle up right here?
Man, when I got there, I was just like, bro, this like, CFSE was nice. I'm like, this is a little different. Like, it's a little like I started doing my research. I'm like, okay, he came from here. Ice Ferreira came from here. Fucking like a lot of people, like you can name UFC fighters. A lot of people just came from there and it's champions in the UFC now. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me just keep fighting and win and see what they throw me. And when I guess they like me. You know, I guess they like me. They keep giving me fights and. You know, and it's not like I'm signing like multi-fight deals. These are like one fight. Because I like to fight. I like to stay active. So I don't want to be trapped only fighting for one promotion. I want to fight with a promotion that's about to have a card in the month that I want to fight in, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. And he said it almost like a question. Of course they like you. What's not to like about Scuba Steve?
Right?
Yeah, no, that's a great place to settle in, man. Because like I said earlier, Ed Soares has like really created a pipeline out of the LFA. Like you said, some of the biggest names have stopped at the LFA, you know, before heading over to the UFC, both historically and recently, you know.
Yeah, he a cool guy too. Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah,
pretty cool. I haven't talked too much to him, but he seemed pretty cool.
Dude, that guy's been around the game forever. Feel free to throw in a good word. Be like, man, I know this guy is a good commentator. His name's Christian. But anyways, back to you, my guy.
I need you to commentate one of my fights.
Bro, it's going to happen one day, God willing. Either if it's LFA or maybe in the UFC one day. But, you know, we both keep our nose down. We stay the course. Right, homie?
No, yeah, yes, sir.
So like you said, you got this fight coming up. You're taking on Kyler Poofall. Is it how you pronounce his name?
Yes.
Kyle Poofall. Tough dude.
Mm-hmm.
Strong record, and I think anybody that's willing to sign the dotted line to fight, you know, the boogeyman that is Scuba Steve right now is clearly pretty confident in themselves. Do you have any specific thoughts on him or this matchup?
I think he comes out pretty hard. He's pretty tough guy. It's not gonna be like a walkover. I'm pretty excited for the matchup, and I'm excited to see how we play out on the feet.
With kind of we talked about the trajectory, obviously, with your plans of ideally keeping the undefeated streak going and rolling into the UFC. Mm-hmm. You pick up this win, you're 6-0, bro. It puts you in obviously in a wonderful position, like best case scenario, right? Mm-hmm. But it also puts you in a position where you can kind of say, and not to look past this fight at all. But what right now fires you up? Is it the thought of going organically and catching the UFC's attention this way? Does the idea of maybe saying like, hey, I'm 6-0 dude. If you got a lightweight division in the tough house coming up, maybe that interests you, like to be on the show? Does the Contender Series? Like, I think the Contender Series is so hot right now. I've had a bunch of those guys on this show that have just been to the moon. What sort of trajectory in a perfect world are you seeing, you know, in the near future?
In a perfect world, if I had to make it and shape it myself and mold it, Dana White Contender Series after maybe two more finishes.
Yeah.
That's me being humbled. If I'm going with my first thought, after this fight, I should get a shot. I just fight, I should get something, get a Dana White, shot right in there, because I really feel like I could compete with the bottom half of the division in the UFC. Like I don't, you know, I'm a very confident guy. You know, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm very confident and I work very hard, and I feel like I could compete with the best of them.
I think there's something to be said for somebody that's willing to say that, and I don't think that has anything to do with being like braggadocious or like you're right, you're writing checks that you truly believe you're asking cash, you know, and I think coming out of a gym like G2 where you on the regular get to train with guys that you know, guys like Jose Perez that you know are the elite, not of the Midwest, but guys like Jose is one of the best in the world at 145 pounds. You know, Coach Gilbert is seeing everything. You know, everything. He knows what's real. He knows that you're the truth. So obviously that confidence comes from a real place. So I hear that and I think like, yeah, man, I think that's really like for what it's worth for me. I think it's called for and suitable. I talked about G2 there. I talked about the history, right? You're 24?
Yes, sir.
Bro, you're a baby. Talk to me about what it means to like come out of an OG place like G2, like that you know has a rich history, what it means for you to come out, and this can all be one answer, but you know, you're coming out carrying the flag for G2, but not just that, dude. You're a legit 24, you're a young veteran, bro. You are a young leader, whether you care to, you know, it is what it is. So talk to me about that role right now and what it means to come out representing G2.
First, I'm so thankful for G2, like everybody that's around me, all the guys that's did it before me, helped me out every day, that got me started, that, you know, teach me in the gym. Like those guys, like I love those guys. Those guys are great. Coach Dan is great. Like I don't know where my career would be without G2. And then Talents helped me coach Sean Talents. He's like the president of boxing in Illinois, something like that. But he's at all the boxing events in Illinois. But being a young veteran, that's what I'm kind of like starting to realize. Like in a gym, I'd be sitting on the wall after like going rounds and just thinking to myself, like bro, like everybody in here is like either 3 or 4 years older than me. And like, I'm like right there. Like I'm like, we're all pros, we're all competing. And I'm like, I'm going to carry the torch for the younger generation. Like I'm going to be the Jose of the younger generation. Like, I'm going to be the Bo Samanego. I'm going to be that Danny B guy in a gym that's still going with the guys at 38 and these guys 21, 24, 27. You know, like I'm gonna be that guy, and it feels great, man. Like it feels so good to go to practice every day with those guys, and I'm just forever grateful. And I'm gonna just keep it going as long as I can and just carry the flag, because you know I'm about to fight. I'm gonna carry the flag like anybody else would.
Bro, I'm gonna give you your flowers, man, because when I was on with Jose, I had him on the show a couple weeks ago, and I'll be honest, it wasn't until he brought you up and like, you know, we got these young guys like Scuba Steve, so young, and like we finished up the interview, and I was like, how young is Scuba Steve? And I looked it up, and I was like, holy shit, he's really young. And I think, you know, I've been seeing you around for so many years, bro. You know, and
all the events every time.
You're at all the events. You stayed like, you know, you've stayed so active, but also, I think there's it's also the quality of your skill and your fighting is just, it's so high level right now, and you've gotten there at such a quick pace, man. I got to give like credit where credit's due, dude. That's really impressive what you've done. What was your background coming into MMA to have had this sort of exponential growth?
My background was football and wrestling.
Just football and wrestling, bro.
Football and wrestling. I mean, I was always a guy that, like, you know, I was always that guy that did all the reps, that did extra work, that went to the weight rooms, went to the off-season practice. I would run with track sometimes. If it's not no weight room going on, I'll go to the track, and the track coach loved me so much and knew like how great of an athlete I was. Because at Thornton Township High School and Harvey, when I was in school, every coach wanted me to play their sport. Every coach wanted me to play their sport, from the baseball, the track. They wanted me to run indoor track, outdoor track. They wanted me to wrestle. They wanted me to do baseball, cross country. Like, and you know, me, you know, I was a kid, so you know, I still want to fuck around. I want to be a kid, so I only did football and wrestling. Then like off season, I'm running, I'm lifting weights, and now don't get me wrong, I'm still a kid. I'm playing the game. I'm getting high, you know, but I'm working. Like I'll go lift weights from the time I get out of school to 4:30, and then I'll go with my friends somewhere. So like,
where does that work ethic come from, bro? That's not that's not
My mom,
okay.
she's a hustler, bro. I'm telling you, mama a hustler. Like she's a hustler. That's all I seen her do was hustle. She been a single mom of 6 kids. She been hustling, and that's what I learned it from her my mom, Charmaine.
Bro, I just knew that an answer like that was coming, bro, because it's just, I mean, some people are born with it. Like, who might have, I don't fucking know everything, but like some people are born with that natural, you know, work ethic, right? And that's great, right? But I think seeing an example like that in your formative years, especially from a parent, you know, I grew up with the same shit. Like I grew up with with hustling parents that worked any and every job they needed to, right? To make sure that the roof was always over our head, and as a kid, you just don't know you're as broke as you really are.
Until you get older, until you realize, like, damn, my mom was just figuring it out. Like she just figured it out. Like,
have you had any of those realizations as an adult now?
Yeah, like now, like I'm kind of get like, damn, my mom was really just figuring this out. And I'm like, Mom, I love you so much. What you doing, Mom? What you doing?
Bro, recently, I made a realization. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I recently I made a realization. I was talking to I was thinking about my childhood, and I was like, one of my favorite things to do was my mom used to take me and my sister every now and then on a Sunday to this one supermarket that had samples. And I was like, man, this is great. Like, it was my favorite thing to do because I run around and shit and steal samples all day. And then as an adult, I looked back and I talked to her and I was like, wait, were you doing that when you didn't have money to take us out to eat? And she was like, yeah. I was like, no shit. And that's like one of my favorite memories. One of my favorite memories of my childhood was running around with my sister getting samples and stuff. And then I later realized, like, and I was like, were you just, and she's like, yeah, those are the days we couldn't go out to grab you that, you know, get you McDonald's or whatever. And it's just like, you know, I think a good parent, much like your mother, make sure that you don't realize that shit, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they definitely. Yeah. They got a nice and special way of doing that, which is like, it's crazy, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, obviously, her work ethic, which is translating into making an undefeated fighter, is made its mark on you, and obviously, her parental skills have rubbed off on you as well. Because I'm sure you're a wonderful father to your son right now, and with another one on the way, bro. I'm sure there's plenty more skills you're gonna be picking up from moms and digging into that memory bank. So yeah, bro. Like I said, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But I know you're a trainer at UFC Munster, is it?
Yeah, class UFC Munster.
Okay, so you're training folks. You're a wrestling coach as well.
At Thornton Township. That's what I do now. I'm an assistant coach.
You're coaching wrestling. You got a baby on the way, and you're training to be the next big fucking thing.
And I do security at night, like parties and stuff. Whenever it's like parties or like secure the premises on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
You keeping that balance right, my guy? You feel?
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm keeping it right. Yeah, I got like a little gap where like I don't even answer phone calls. I got a gap in my day where I don't even answer phone calls.
Yeah.
It don't matter. The only person I'm gonna answer is probably my girl or my mom. But there's a gap in my day where I don't answer phone calls because I do so much in the morning and at the afternoon to myself until 4 because I got practice at 5:45. And then after practice, I'll go do security until like 1 maybe, you know.
Dude, respect. I respect the hustle, my guy. Well, bro, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Let's hit it with a couple fun questions before I send you on your way.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's just pretend the UFC roster does not change. You pick up this big fight and you get tossed in the UFC tomorrow. Give me 3 names of dream matchups. And you know what? Fuck it. They don't have to be in the UFC right now. But give me three lightweight matchups that I can clip out in the future and it'll look really fucking badass when the fights really happen. And you said in 2025 that you wanted it.
Lightweight division, you say.
Or give me any lightweight dream matchup. Guys that you'd love to see jumping in there with Scuba Steve one day.
Let's see.
Like you going through the roster.
Yeah, me, I'm gonna go through the roster.
You're like, let's go to the top 10 right away, top 5 right away.
I'll do Why is it taking all day?
How about I throw a couple at you and you tell me if they tickle your fancy, homie?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Let's go with some OGs to begin with. If you had a choice between a Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira dream matchup at 155 pounds, who's Scuba Steve jumping in the deep end with?
I'll go. You said Dustin Poirier or who?
Or Charles Dubronc Oliveira?
I'm going Charles. I'll fight Charles.
Yeah, tell why.
Charles
He's hot right now, bro.
Charles ain't taking me down. Charles.
Hey.
Charles.
Okay. Bro, for a guy that has a football and wrestling background, you don't seem concerned at all about the jiu-jitsu on the ground. Is that because he rolling around with guys like Jose at the gym? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Inside my head, when I be positioned inside the fight, I'll be like, Jose would have had this right here. Like, so like as long as I land in a position where I know I can get out, I'm cool. But Jose, you know, he's so fucking like, bro, like. It's like you got to answer for everything you do. Like, no matter what you do. And then, like, once you catch on to it, you do something totally different.
Bro, he's one of those guys that, like, right now he's a veteran, but he started so young that he's, like, one of the first guys that, like, got into MMA. Like I consider he's, like, a very specific veteran that, like, is a veteran that started as a kid. Most guys that are veterans right now are guys like you and me that started as adults. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's no surprise. All right.
I'll take on another person I'll take on is I'll take on Max Holloway.
Ooh, that was my next one. I was gonna ask you. I have 3 left that I was gonna ask you. Holloway, Gagey, or Patty Pimblett was my next one.
I'll take on Patty.
But I knew you were gonna fucking say you're gonna knock off Patty's head.
I think Patty is a little different though. Like I don't know his style. Like I still don't know his style is for real. So
all right, different. Fair enough. And then finally, how are you matching up against the champ Ilya Topuria, bro?
That's a bad motherfucker. I'm not. That's a bad. Like I match myself with him all the time. I'm like, I hope he's not here. I hope he's not here when I get there. You know.
Best case scenario is he's moved on weight classes, retired or some shit.
Or with friends or something, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, motherfucker, boy. I'm not gonna
lie. Bro. Yeah, dude.
I'll be shooting takedown, grab a single. I just bully him because he is a little small.
Yeah.
Cage.
You're a big lightweight. What do you walk around at?
If you
don't have to answer that.
If you let me, like 195, if you let me. But like when I'm in a gym, 185, which I'm always in the gym. So I'm like, I'm bouncing from 185 to 175. So once I get to 175, I'm good. I'm like that's in shape. Scuba. That's Scuba. That's running. I've been practicing probably 2 times a day, 3 times a week.
Are you swimming?
Yeah, I swim.
Is that where the name Scuba comes from?
No. The Scuba. So the name comes from this Skyler. He's a guy in our gym. That's he fought before too. It was like a sweaty day, summer day. And we was like sparring hard. And like I did something cool and I got up and I was tripping. And I was walking, it was like footsteps of sweat. And he just said Scuba Steve and everybody looked and was like, oh shit, let's go see it. But
that's a good one.
It comes from the movie Big Daddy though.
Yeah, I remember. That's what I figured, you know, the fucking character, like the fucking flippers and shit.
My something I want to do though after this fight is learn how to swim for real.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, learn how to swim for real.
It makes sense. Like if you're Scuba Steve, you gotta fucking, you know.
All right, I gotta learn how to swim for real, man.
You got nothing.
Clowning me, bro. And you clowning me at the gym. I can't swim. My name's Scuba Steve.
Well, dude, you don't want to feed too many stereotypes either, bro. So you just you go prove all them wrong, bro.
Right, exactly.
You get out there and fucking start doing that freestyle shit. Plus, you got another little one coming. You're gonna be buying some. You're gonna have to go buy some little baby scuba gear soon.
Yeah.
So love it, man, bro. I'm not gonna take up too much more of your time. This has been great, bro. I appreciate you sitting down and. You know, we covered a lot of shit. We had a few laughs, bro. And honestly, like I said, I've been able to, like, I've kind of just watched your career peripherally because after those couple amateur fights, I haven't had the privilege of calling any more of your fights. But all this time, it's been a pleasure to watch you, bro. And I'm really, really excited because I really think you got that fucking aura right now. And I'm excited to see you go out there and become 6-0, bro. And sky's the limit, my man. Any final thoughts or shout outs? And also, how can fans make sure they stay up to speed on all things Scuba Steve?
First, I want to say thank you for having me on the show. You know, when I seen you had a show, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get on the show. What the fuck? But and people who can contact me, they can stay up to date on Instagram. I'm sorry, they can stay up on the date on Instagram. You can catch me on Instagram at Scuba Steve. And yeah, man, I'm in camp. I'm training. I'm locked in, ready to go. LFA 223, UFC Fight Pass. I want to thank my mom, thank my team, G2, Talents Boxing. Let's get it, y'all.
Well, fight fans, you're not going to want to miss this one or any of the fights on LFA 223 as Scuba Steve jumps into the deep end once again. He looks to become 6-0 underneath the bright lights. Tune in exclusively on UFC Fight Pass as it all goes down November 21st. Scuba Steve, my boy, I appreciate you so much. Can't wait to see you in action. We'll talk to you soon, bro.
Talk to you soon, man. Thank you.
Thank you.